When it comes to creating a post that provides a lot of value and is really interesting and your audience loves, there's a few keys that it comes down to. And I'm going to share them right here on this slide, and then we're going to dig into the rest of the content. The few takeaways are this. You have to understand that value comes in two forms. You can educate or you can entertain, or you could do both. That is where a lot of posts differentiate themselves. You're able to create a post that could have only come from you, and you provide some type of information to your audience. You make it in an interesting way. You make it funny, you make it sad, but you're able to keep people coming back for more. So if you can do both, that is the heart of content. When you do create content as well, you want to try and share new ideas or to spin old ideas in new ways. As I've said before in this course, what you really want to do is stand out. And you don't stand out just by repeating what every other person says. And as always, make sure that your grammar and spelling is correct. It doesn't have to follow proper 5th grade English rules, but you have to have things punctuated, spelt right, capitalized correctly, or else people are not going to engage with what you put out there. The last bit of information I have here is to say what others want to, what they notice or what they believe and wish they could say, but don't want to say on LinkedIn. If you can do that well, people will interact with your content because it puts a degree of separation between you and the idea. So I'm going to explain that in more detail later on, but that's been something that is very effective to helping yourself differentiate from others. And that is how you make content that kicks butt. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain some of the themes for content that has worked really well for me. And I'm going to explain why it works, and I'm going to show you some examples of what it looks like. So hopefully you can apply the same thing to your career or your industry and your content. But if not, you'll at least be able to understand how to identify trends. One last piece of information I have here on the keys to successful posts is to never write things in all caps. If you do that, people read it as if you're yelling. If it's not something worth yelling about, don't put it in all caps. And one more thing is to always read your post out, if they're written down, out loud, so that you can understand how it sounds from another perspective. Sometimes our minds play tricks on us, and the message can get misrepresented if we don't review our work. Okay, I hope you found that interesting, and then we'll move right on to the next slide.